Michelin-Star Chef Vikas Khanna, welcome to ITV Gold. Thank you for giving us your time today. We have you here today to discuss a lot that's happening in India and what we are doing here to help India. So let's go right into it, Chef. Just like you and me, we have our families in India. Most of our families are currently in India. I know your family resides in Amritsar. My first question to you is, what is the news that you're hearing from India right now? What is the condition there? What are you hearing?
I think there's still a lot of breaking up of the entire system. And one thing which is amazing right now, what we're seeing as the most important news, that people are helping people, so, which shows the true fabric of India, the resilience to hold each other together. I think that is something which we are hearing more than anything else. That is a thing which it actually retains in my head right now.
Yeah.
How people are supporting each other, which is amazing because we can feel the gravity of the culture in the time of crisis.
Yes, for sure. And the crisis is really intense. We're hearing hospitals are running out of beds. There's no oxygen. A lot of people are not getting admitted into the hospitals. Do you think India put its guard down too soon?
I'm not the person who ever discusses any government policies for the countries. I'm there to support,
Right.
and I'd like to just talk about that. I just think that it's a discussion. Like every time I'm making a partnership, everybody has this whole thing that what do you think should have been done? I said, I'm not a policy maker. I'm not a person who will ever enter politics. I'm there to support my motherland, and that's what I'm doing. And I have the equal amount of hours like everybody else, like 24 hours. And I want to utilize that in being part of the solutions.
Yes. I'd love for you to reflect on what you did with Feed India and also how come you came into the collaboration with Vibha after that?
So we've been working with Feed India since April 1st last year.
Right.
And fed more than 65 million meals. But we continued and we spread more into then later about slippers, sanitary pads, and we kept adding to our Feed India initiative as a movement. But when the crisis hit, which was requirement of more PPE kits, more about oxygen concentrators, more about vaccination centers, at that time, I wanted to partner with someone who actually is a doer like Kayur and an organization like Vibha, where there's so many volunteers like myself, and everybody joined hands. And our first meeting itself was so important. It really was something which was very close to my heart. I said, if I'm going to be part of any initiative, every single day we need to have an accountability to people who contribute. Because I was sure that if I'm going to collaborate with someone and we're going to request people to come together, and people will be there, because I work like this, that I like to put everything forward, because it's people's contribution more than financial. It's the contribution of the faith in you.
Right.
And then Vibha was so amazingly transparent, and we talked about the administrative costs, and we talked about saying nothing. We just want to make sure that people get help. And I said, my mission would be that, we raise the funds, we work most diligently of procuring the oxygen concentrators and other help, and we need to get it to the people who need it, from
Right.
hospitals to nursing homes to elderly people's ashrams, and we were totally focused on that. And sometimes what happens is that the visions are so matched that you jump into a relationship.
When you're looking at exactly what's happening on the ground, Chef, we'd like to get some information on what is currently happening on ground, how much help has been sent, and talking about transparency, how is the money being used, and how does it travel? How is everything working out? How is the program like?
So what you see right now is we procure the oxygen concentrators or any kind of kits or anything So right now, Kayur we were just discussing about we have a major inventory in America. We need to find a way to send it to India.
Hmm.
We will find our contacts and use all the resources we have. It lands in India. Everything gets documented. We take the help of Vibha volunteers or an NDRF. That's India's National Disaster Response Force. These are a group of the most diligent and dedicated people, a government body which I've ever come across in my life. And they come and everything is documented to where what is landing. And which is for me, this is the most important part. I see a lot of people, at the time of when you're emotionally very high about seeing pain in your motherland, our first reaction is let's contribute. But sometimes we see that the accountability of the foundation or the organizations, when I call them back, because I donate, and when I call them back and I said, what happened to that? Oh, that has been done, but can I get some proofs? What do you mean you don't trust us? And that is something which makes me feel very disheartened, because first of all, it's my very hard-earned money, and I want to see the accountability of that.
Yeah.
And if you see now the video I just posted on Instagram, it's showing you the entire journey from point A to point Z, where it actually reaches out, and it's already. And on vibha.org, you can see every single day updates. Of course, I do that at my social media too. But every single day, you're going to see that $800,000 have been dispersed right now in procuring stuff. And what is the latest update?
What is the biggest need in India right now, according to you?
Makeshift hospitals. Makeshift hospitals. Our first makeshift hospital will be coming up very soon in Bangalore, and it's in South India. And our first focus is going to be that. And I think the need right now is the most important need is after this wave, we feel that it slows down or people are becoming more conscious. And the reason that New York opened up is because most of us are vaccinated right now.
Right.
That is something which we have to find a way that everybody gets vaccinated. So people are. It's not that we can't get COVID after vaccination, but we have more security. There's a little shield between our organs and our body and the virus. And I think that is something which is going to be on a priority, in which you're feeling that this has to be done. And if you see, Vibha's major mission now is vaccination centers.
Right. So that will happen right after when the pandemic slows down a little bit in India.
Lots of logistics are required, a lot of logistics, and we already started working on that. And I'm glad that we have a team which is totally dedicated to this mission.
Definitely. What is the biggest struggle then for Vibha as an organization, Chef, or even your organization? What is the most that you need in it right now?
The most is that the amount of phone calls you get every morning. You wake up, or I don't sleep much, but the messages on Twitter or social media or WhatsApp of people who know you. There's a much bigger uncertainty in people's mind right now.
Right.
You're feeling that anxiety when you're speaking to your relatives. Because when there's death in every family, you can understand that actually gives shivers down to your bones, because you feel that this is hit home now. Your pain, your empathy towards the situation has much more gravity. And we are trying our best that, we are a very small scale organization. This is not a government body which has much bigger wings. But right now we are seeing that all these little steps are adding up to much bigger results. And I'm very proud of what we are doing right now.
Money has been raised so far, Chef, and what's also happening with the underserved communities, because Vibha and many other organizations are trying to serve these communities which are impacted very disproportionately in India right now. What's happening on that end?
So Feed India has been initiated again since last month,
Hmm.
and a lot of communities, which you're saying underserved community, what we call them. I'm talking about not underserved right now. It's like um, I don't know what word should I use, which is not in a way derogatory. I
Hmm.
feel that sometimes it takes away from the human soul when we categorize people like this.
Right.
But we have started Feed India initiative because we're feeling that the daily workers, people who work on daily wages, they're still being very affected because the country, the economy has not kicked back yet,
Yeah.
and people are still not making money. And we started that again. We have a very major role to play, and Global Fund for Widows, in which you will see that a lot of ashrams, which we take care of through this Heather Ibrahim's foundation, which is very important to all of us, and especially very close to my heart. We revived all those initiatives of vaccinations and
Right.
food for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Right now, we're looking for any kind of hope. I think for not just for people who are affected, who are in this chaos, but all of us. When India is weak, we are all weak.
Yeah, no, that's so true. What's happening back in motherland and the images we get, I don't think I can ever get them out of my head. I don't think,
Sometimes I don't want to talk about it. I'm like,
yes,
let's just figure out
how to
a
solve it.
very, and almost like some days I feel that, I just have to be so disciplined
Hmm.
about what I put out in a way that you can't be showing that, this has broken you. It hasn't broken us, it's challenged us.
Yes.
And this is a time we show our grit. And I remember my grandfather used to say one thing which is very important to me. He's saying that, people who win the Olympic gold, they have been training, all of them have been training for years and years. But it's that last 10 seconds of decision which makes them a winner and not the winner.
Yeah.
So right now is a time of test, those 10 seconds of running laps. And I'm requesting people of NRIs who India is their home, or as I say, India is a pilgrim to every citizen on the planet. And this is the time your country needs you, your pilgrimage needs you, your support more than ever.
Chef, how has this pandemic been personally for you? It's been a you've been doing so much work for the community. You've been serving the ones in need. How has that affected you?
Um, you know, it's like after some time, your pain is so large that you need to get distracted. But you see that this is the first time in my career of 35 years that I haven't launched a single book since the pandemic started
Oh,
last year.
wow.
And generally in a year we launch 4 books, but we also understand when I release a book, it also creates a massive employment, commissions, whole network starts, because these are massive production books. We haven't done any of the books, and I'm still doing my edits of some stuff. And thank God to Last Color, which came as a big support to all of us
Yeah.
at the right time, to Amazon. But I'm still feeling that every single day I feel that we could have done more. And that has affected me deeply, emotionally. But I feel that we are still in the position of privilege and we should use it. We should use it. Everything, every platform, every stage was given us to us for this day. And we shouldn't
Yes.
be backing out. And it's been tough for the restaurant industry.
Hmm.
I had 2 projects which we had to totally erase them because it was too much of anxiety to enforce. But we reopened Kinara, which is running packed right now, which is amazing. It's God is watching a way to make you happy, I feel.
Yeah, for sure. I just have a couple more questions left here for you, Chef. Before I ask you what's on your agenda, because I have to ask you that before I let you go, I'd love your comments on the fact that not just Vibha, but many other organizations from the United States is sending help back to India. Many hospitals are also trying to send a lot of help back to hospitals in Indian areas. This collective, initiative that's been taken by so many people. What do you have to say about that?
I think it's amazing. Isn't it showing the power of true resilience of human spirit?
Yeah.
It's also like, a lot of the times people used to tell me that, oh, you're not Indian. And sometimes I had people who question my patriotism. And it's not just me. They're talking about so many of us who are living in a land which is our adopted motherland, right? In a way.
Yeah.
And this is the time we see that how people who are living in diaspora like myself and you, that how deeply emotionally we are connected to our motherland. that it's keeping us up all night trying to find solutions and because the empathy of pain is very high. It's very high right now.
Yeah. I can only imagine. Again, for everybody, the website is vibha.org/donate. So you can actually go and help out this. Chef, before I still have you here, I have to ask you, what is on your agenda for the rest of the year? Besides the nonprofit philanthropic work that you've been doing, what's going on with the restaurants and what is going to happen with television? Because you keep up with all of these aspects. So how is it going to be this year?
So we shot 2 series here in my studio in New York, and which are soon you're going to see it. And we have 2 very important documentaries coming out, which both celebrate the true spirit of India. And I feel that the spirit of India is always a woman, which is great. And we have a beautiful movie coming out with Shivanaji. We're getting into post-production now. And there's a restaurant on plate in New York City. And I'm just trying to prioritize that everything can wait, but the situation in India should be the most important attention.
Yes.
We have 4 books, which are just, every publisher is just ready to release them, but they need me and my commitment 100%, which I'm refusing right now because of let's be a part of the solution in India's problem right now. India hasn't failed. People haven't failed. The world has failed right now.
Yeah.
And we are all a part of every loss of a family member right now in India is our loss.
Yeah.
We are all losing the game, and we can't let that happen. We are very strong as a people, as a DNA, as a country. So that is why all the projects, I'm not even talking about them, that everything can wait. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
And the situation right now needs our attention 100%.
Rightly so, rightly said and rightly done, Chef. Right now, where the help is needed the most, you're sending that help. And I believe Last Color, if they watch on Amazon Prime, there's some proceeds also going from there?
All the proceeds of this month will go to Vibha.org, which is on Amazon. So I'm just like, watch a movie, be inspired. And I'm requesting my friends whose kids are born and raised in America and Canada or the Western world, and show them India, that how India is changing through this movie. And the movie is inspired by real events. And why is it so important for us to be part of the solution?
So important to be a part of the solution. I would love for you to give one last message to all of the Indian American community and the greater South Asian community watching you on ITV Gold. How can they help you, and what are your hopes for them?
I just feel that, right now we are sitting too far. You need to find an organization whom you can trust, your gut feeling, your heart tells you the right thing to do, and support them, but support those organizations which can create this kind of faith and trust in you for accountability. I have been doing this for more than 21 years living in New York. Find an organization and the people whom you feel the trust, and they can be held accountable for you and your friends and your family's money, which they are using for helping India fight COVID. Find that, support that, and let's not spread too much negativity about the system collapse, because we have all collapsed right now.
Yeah.
We have a long way to go to find out the hierarchy and to set up the system in politicals and other agendas. But right now, the people need us. So let's not have any other thing in our mind. Let's do it for the country which gave us everything.
Again, the website is Vibha, vibha.org/donate. People, you can go there, read about what's happening. Chef, thank you so much for your time here on ITV Gold today.
Thank you. Good to see you again.